Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I have a brand new create a sim for you. Well, somewhat brand new, I guess. I did show one of the sims already over on Twitter and also in my YouTube community tab, which was why I was kind of unsure whether or not I should post the other sim as well, but I felt like they kind of worked hand in hand together because they're both featuring brand new base game hairs, one that's updated and one that's completely brand new, which is what the first sim is wearing. And I initially recorded the other sim anyways when I was making her for maybe a potential create a sim video, because I have this habit of like going into create a sim, making a sim, and then not recording it, and then I regret it because like the sim ends up coming out really good. I noticed that a lot of the time when I make like some of my best sims, it's when I'm not recording. Well, not to say that the sims that I've made on camera aren't that good, but I just feel like some of them are really good and like I regret not showing them. Does anybody remember there was a sim, I think I called her Pouty or something. I remember I made her and I was so upset that I didn't like record it that I literally went in and remade her for a video, and I was surprised that I actually even was able to like recreate her almost exactly, which is already a challenge in itself. But I think since it was still pretty fresh in my mind when I made her, that like it wasn't super difficult because I probably remember which presets I used and whatnot, so it wasn't entirely hard. But even when it comes to like recreating like celebrities or video game characters or animated characters or whatever it is a challenge for sure, because you want to like make it right. I know that when I used to try and do that, like I think the last kind of recreation that I did was back when I did Lilo and Stitch, I think, and I definitely had fun with it, and it was really cool to see so much positive feedback on that as well, and I'd love to do some more of that. I think I've said this before, like probably a year ago maybe, or half a year ago, I don't even know. I feel like I talk about the same stuff over and over again, which I do apologize for if I ever do like end up repeating myself. My memory is so like bad that I can't even remember what I've talked about and what I haven't, so you know, maybe you'll just be here watching my create a sim videos and I talk about the same stuff all the time. So that's a thing, but it's not intentional by any means. It's just, it happens because I just don't remember. But yeah, I've definitely wanted to recreate video game characters, which there is an idea that I have that I want to do. And I think I'm probably going to hold off on it for a little while because it's quite a few sims. And I do still want to do my rainbow create a sim, and I think I'm going to take a different approach to that than what I initially thought of. Since June is coming up and Pride Month is in June, I think that a rainbow create a sim would fit perfectly during that month, so I'm going to try my best to do that, but take a different approach to it. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I can commit to it and do it because it's been on my to-do list for literally like probably a year now too. So I'm just really bad at taking the time to execute videos that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. Like there's been so many, and I don't know. I end up taking breaks, and then I just am behind on Let's Plays, and then I'm stressing out about Let's Plays and all that. Like I've had my Snowy Escape episode recorded, I just haven't been in the mood to like sit on my computer all day and like work on videos, if that makes sense, because it does get tiring if like you just sit all day on your computer. And I'm trying to like, you know, I talked about in my last create a sim how I kind of want to get into fitness and stuff like that, so I've been trying to work on that and just kind of be mindful of how much time I spend on the computer. Which, speaking of, if you saw my last cast video, I did talk about how I ordered a stationary bike and it did come in, and let me tell you, putting it together was a little bit difficult. I had some troubles because I thought the directions were wrong, and then turns out they were right. But it's been kind of cool to be able to just like ride a bike and like go. Like the longest I've ridden was 3 miles so far, because I don't want to overdo it and like not be able to walk the next day, but I kind of also want to be sore because for some reason I do like the feeling of being sore, and I don't know if anybody else does after they work out. It's just, it feels like I did something, you know, but when I'm not feeling anything, I'm just like, well, guess I didn't really work out that hard. But I don't know, that's just me. But I did definitely put on some quarantine weight, and yeah, I kind of need to drop that because I don't feel comfortable in myself at the moment, and I'm kind of just like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, yep, that's I don't want to look in the mirror. So that's also a self-love issue, but you know, that's a whole nother story. But we're gonna move right along because I don't want to get emotional in this video, and I know if I'm going to talk about that, I'm definitely going to, because I've already cried too much about myself, which is, you know, it happens. But anyways, so I completely forgot to discuss like the title of this video, because I named them Decade Darlings because, well, I was gonna think about calling them Big Hair Babes or Big Hair Beauties, but I just couldn't figure out how to put the text in the thumbnail where it looked good, so I was just like, all right, this girl, I think I named her Joelle, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I named her Joelle, yeah. She is like inspired by the 70s, and then Suzanna, she is more like, I guess, I don't know, I feel like she could still be 70s, but I'm also like, I was trying to figure out like what her dress could be from, and I was thinking like 60s, but I'm just like, I don't really know, so I just categorized it as decades, and I don't know if people in the 70s wore dresses like that, but you know, it is what it is. I was trying to figure out, because I can't remember like what that shape of the top of her dress is like called, because I know there's a name for it, but I just could not. Oh, is it a sweetheart neckline? Wait, that's probably what it is, I think. I was gonna try and Google like dresses to see if dresses styled like that were in the 60s or 70s, 80s, that type of time, because the 50s is more like very buttoned up dresses with like the collars that were very popular with the poofy kind of skirts, or they were a little bit more straight but like kind of more frilly a little bit, if that makes sense. Every time I like look up vintage clothing or look up clothing specifically from other decades, I'm always like thinking about like, what if I grew up in that time and like was wearing those outfits, because I obviously can't really picture myself wearing them unless like I just decided to go ahead and buy a whole bunch and just try it out and like dress like I was from those time periods. Because like even thinking about like back in the 1800s where women like wore corsets where like their boobs were pushed up like hell and like, you know, their waist cinched to the gods, that's crazy. Like how the fashion has changed, don't you think? Like how did we get to where we are now? Like the evolution of like style has changed so much, but like even now you see like styles returning, like 70s, 80s fashion nowadays too, even like the 90s and like early 2000s kind of. I mean, early 2000s fashion, like if you look at celebrities, kind of questionable, but still I think it's cool to see like fashion returning. Now I don't think we're ever gonna get back to like 1800s type of fashion, but who knows? Maybe things will change. I don't know. But just looking at this sim, I freaking love how she looks. Like every time I see a close-up of her face, I'm just like, wow, you're beautiful. But also I'm biased because she's my sim and I love them both. But I also wanted to say that I wish there was a hair. If you guys have seen Doja Cat's Kiss Me More music video with SZA's hair in that, I want that in the game. Like it's gorgeous. So yeah, these are the Sims, but with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys in a new video very soon. Bye guys.